morning, everyone. Happy Taco Tuesday. Hope everyone's back in the learning mood after this, after Monday coming back from break. I know I forgot to say this is Mr. Dowd, but I think you guys already know that. But yeah, so I know Monday was tough because coming back from break. It was tough for everyone, not just you. Okay. But yeah, so happy Tuesday. We have another probably at least 2.5 weeks, including today and yesterday, of the national parks. And then after that, I'm going to start 3D modeling it. I think I'm going to pick dry tortugas, but I haven't seen all the national parks yet, so I want to wait before I make that decision. But last class, we started off with Joshua Tree. Now we're on to the Mesa Verde. So this is a national park in Colorado, which is the highest elevation in North America for the most part. So the first is we have Navajo Canyon View. So a scenic overlook of the canyon housing scores of ancient cliff dwellings, including Square Tower House. So I guess at some point there used to be maybe houses located in here and around. I think that's what they're referring to. Let's see if I can see any. Because I'm not really sure where to look. But that's what they mean by that. And scores just means more than one. Just there's probably 10, 20, 30, not sure. Because a score is usually 10, typically. But next on our list, we have the Square Tower House. So this is exactly what we were just talking about. So ruins of a home carved into cliffs by the ancient Pueblo. So the Pueblo were Native Americans local to the area. Plus the park's tallest structure of a 28-foot tower. So that's the tower they're talking about, the 28-foot tower. And these are just ruins from Native Americans is all. So they're actually built right into the cliff face, which is really cool. So they have that sheer wall, and then, yeah. Not sure what that is. Yep, so imagine you're just looking out your window, and that's the view you get. Pretty jealous. Next on our list is Sun Point View. It's a viewpoint along Mesatop Loop Road overlooking ancient cliff dwellings and including a cliff palace. So where is that cliff palace? Because that sounds very interesting. The cliff palace might be the next location for all I know. Is that it? That might be the cliff palace. Maybe. Let's check it out. Nope, guess not. Oak Tree House. So it's sandstone. So sandstone is the kind of stone that's around here. So that's actually the location we're talking about is this place. So it's sandstone ruins of 60-room cliff dwelling built by ancient Pueblo, reached via 1 mile round trip hike. Wow. So 60 rooms. So there's a lot of people living in this location here. It's fascinating. Next on our list is Sun Temple. It's an archaeological site of a ceremonial structure thought to be an ancient Pueblo astronomy observatory. So this was a big structure at one point. So ceremonial means just they used to hold ceremonies there, and from what it sounds like, they used to hold things that related to stuff that happened in the sky via astronomy, right? So that might have been the crescent moon, somehow the moon changing. They used to hold ceremonies for it, or the sun. I'm really not sure. I'm not a history major on the ancient Pueblos, but yeah, some cool stuff. Next is the Chapin Mesa Archaeological Museum. So it's a small museum with artifacts of the Pueblo, or as they like to say, the cliff-dwelling ancestral Puebloans, in a film on the park's history. So you'll see maybe some old arrowheads, some old pottery, some stuff around that'd be in there. Next, we have the Petroglyph Point Trail. It's a moderate 2.4 mile round-trip loop with narrow passages, stone steps, canyon views, and rock petroglyphs. So petroglyphs are kind of like hieroglyphs, which the Egyptians used. So they were carved into the wall. So these look like that maybe is a old carving of a dog or something along those. Looks like a person, so on and so forth. So pretty much old mosaics made by the Puebloans. Next on our list is the Spruce Treehouse. It's the ruins of a multi-room cave dwelling accessible in the 19th century by climbing down a spruce tree. Huh! So to get there, you used to climb down a spruce tree almost like a ladder. But this is another cave dwelling carved out of the sandstone, or built into the cave. Not sure. This is some really cool stuff. Really cool. So imagine, so you live here, you turn around. I guess the trees are kind of blocking it, but this is all that canyon. Last but not least is probably going to be our visitor center, which it is not. Wow. So it's the Pit House. It's the remains of a traditional underground home of the Pueblo people established around 600 AD. So 600 AD, it's year 2020. So that's nearly 1,420 years old. It's incredible. Super old. So it's just an archaeological site, or was an archaeological site. So they used to live underground, I guess. So maybe beforehand there used to be walls around here. I'm not really sure. I've never visited there, but you know, this is definitely going to be on my bucket list now. Anyways, guys, that is all I have for today. Hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday. I will see you guys all tomorrow on Wednesday. See ya.
Hi Gators! Today I'm going to make a cinnamon bread. It's going to taste like cinnamon swirl. So first I'm going to take this mix, put it in. I need 3/4 cups of water. I think I need 2 eggs, hold on. Yep, 2 eggs. Okay, I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of corn oil. Okay, now let's mix it up. Okay, so I've already sprayed this pan. I'm only going to put half of the mixture in. Okay. And then I'm going to take half of this So this is kind of like a cinnamon strudel mix. I'm going to put some of it in here. So it's in the middle of the bread. See? And then I'm going to put the rest of this on top. And now I'm going to put the rest of this. Okay, and I'm going to cook it for about 35 minutes. That's what it looks like going in. When I take it out, we're going to put a cinnamon glaze on top. So I will see you on the flip side. Okay, kiddos, so here it is. All right, this is all the cinnamon part. Make sure you check the middle and that there's no batter that isn't cooked. Then I'm going to take this like streusel cinnamon mix, which is basically just like frosting. And I'm going to squeeze it on. And this is kind of like what they put on top of those cinnamon rolls. You squeeze it on as little as you want. You can spread it out. Kind of messy, but. And then you can just mix it through like this. Add a little bit of extra frosting. And you have a nice cinnamon bread. Makes the house smell amazing. All right, I'll see you guys next time.
Hey Gators, welcome back to Language and Play. All right, so today we are going to be looking at our character profiles and our character background. All right, so this is an example of my character background story. Right, and as you can see, what I did was I basically just took all of the information from my character profile and turned it into a paragraph down below. All right, so my character profile, I am Gus the grizzly bear. The reason I chose to be a grizzly bear is because they just come out of hibernation. They are a spring animal, right? They hibernate for the winter. They're just coming out. So I thought that would be a really good spring character. All right, hopefully you put some thought into your spring character. Your character doesn't have to be real, but it has to be realistic. All right. So hi, my name is Gus, and I'm a grizzly bear. I just woke up from a long winter's nap. In case you didn't know, my family and I, like all grizzly bears, hibernate for the winter months. Now that I'm awake, I'm looking forward to roaming Yellowstone for my favorite dish, salmon. I really need to avoid the hunters. I've heard there are more than ever in the woods, and they got my friend Sammy last week. I'll keep my wife Greta and my cubs very close to me so I can protect them. I can't wait to see my cubs all grown up and foraging for themselves someday. So you can see I got all of my information from my character profile into my character background story. All right, our next step and what we're going to do today is we are going to come up with a conflict monologue. All right, we've done these many times before. And you can do this all on the same document. So your character profile, your character background story, and your character monologue can all be on one document. All right, this is your spring-inspired character. So your character monologue, your conflict monologue, you have to come up with a problem that your character has to overcome. All right, I have some built-in problems within my character profile and background story. I know that his greatest fear are hunters. I know he wants his cubs to be able to grow up and be the best grizzly bears that they can be. So maybe a hunter captures one of his cubs. That would be a natural conflict. Or maybe his favorite food is salmon. Maybe he goes to the river and there are no salmon swimming in the river. Again, a natural conflict.
In 5 minutes or so.
So you really want to look and be aware of those natural conflicts. All right? So I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And good luck with your spring character monologue. We're going to have these due on Friday, and you are going to be recording them on Friday on Flipgrid. All right? Can't wait to see them. Good job, Gators.
Hi guys, I hope you're ready to make your tessellation today. So, if you got yourself a square and you measured it 3 inches by 3 inches, and then you cut a piece from the top, taped it on the bottom, cut a piece from the side and taped it on the other side, you're ready to go. So what you're going to do next is, using your shape, we are going to create a pattern where you're just repeating this shape, whatever your shape is. You're going to repeat that over and over again. So I usually start up in the corner, and I'm just going to trace my shape. So the next step is important because when you trace the shape again, you want to make sure that you match your shape up with the line from your last shape that you just traced. So it's sort of like putting a puzzle piece together, like putting puzzle pieces together. It needs to match up, and you don't want to leave a space in between. It will mess up your pattern in the end. So you're going to use your shape, trace, and you're going to continue across your paper, tracing that shape over and over again. Don't leave any spaces in between the shape. And even though the piece, my shape might not fit completely over here, you still want to line it up with the edge of that last shape that I traced. You're going to trace it. Whatever it is on the paper is what you want to trace. Okay? Same with over here. Even though only a little bit of this shape fits on there, in the end it will look better if you include this little line here that I have. Now I'm going to take my shape and start tracing it going down until my whole entire paper is covered with this shape, with my pattern created by this same shape. All right, don't forget those edges, and I'm not leaving any space between my shapes. So keep on going, trace your shape over and over again without leaving any gaps or spaces between the shapes. Just keep on going until your whole paper is filled with your tessellation shape. I'm always checking to make sure I didn't leave any spaces in between the shapes. And I'm almost done. When you're done, you're going to decide, what does your shape look like? And you're going to turn it into something. So right now it kind of looks like an abstract shape where, you know, you might not recognize it as looking like any certain thing. But I want you to spend a little time thinking about what your shape looks like and making a decision as to what you want to turn your shape into. So I have to do the same thing. My shape is pretty abstract. I can't really think right away of what it looks like, maybe a leaf. But when I look at it more, I almost see a cat. So I might make this be an ear, and this can be another ear. I'm going to add a little eye, a cat or a fox or a wolf of some kind. Maybe his nose is here, and a little mouth. Some whiskers. Make those whiskers longer. Okay, so this is what I've decided to turn my shape into for my tessellation. So now I'm going to draw this same exact face on every single shape. So this will be my repeated image of my tessellation. So I want to look, okay, I made a line here, another line up here, somewhere around here is one of the eyes. So you just try your best to make it look like the very first one that you did, so that in the end you'll have somewhat of the same image on every single shape that you've created. And that will be your tessellation. Okay, so I'm going to keep on going, and next we'll talk about how to color it in. Good luck with your tessellation, guys.
Thanks for watching Enrichment TV, Gators. Remember, work hard, be nice, and we'll see you tomorrow.